Hello, my name is Jensen, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to fly the Cessna 172 in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So to get started, we are going to make sure our fuel selector is set to both. After we verify that, we're going to make sure that our fuel valve is set to open. From there, we're going to push the mixture to 100%. We're also going to put the throttle to around 20%, 25%. Then we're going to go over and turn on our battery and alternator paired with the avionics master bus 1 and master bus 2. And we're also going to make sure our standby battery is set to arm. After that, we're going to go over to the magneto, which looks like key. We're going to twist that all the way to start. And as you can see, we have engine power. My yoke is invisible because sometimes it can block some things. All you have to do is click on it to make it visible. There are a few more things that we have to go over before we take off, though. One of those things, of course, being the parking brake. We're going to make sure that our parking brake is set to off, because if we have our parking brake on, we won't be able to move, obviously. We're going to then increase our throttle gradually until we hit around, till we hit 100%. From there, we're going to use our pedals, which for me are the triggers on the X-Bus controller, to maintain our center line. Before we can take off, we're also going to make sure that we're going around 65 to 70 knots before we gradually pick ourselves off the ground. As we're raising off the ground, we're going to make sure that we are not gaining altitude too quickly, because at our current speed, especially because we're very close to the ground, there's a chance that we could stall, and if we stall, there's really no chance of us recovering. When it comes to making turns in this aircraft, we also have to make sure that we're going at an appropriate speed and that we are not taking the turns too strong. In small aircraft like this, you can afford to make sharper turns, but in larger aircraft, going especially slower, you could stall out or just not make the turn. So we decided we'd like to land at the Oswego County Airport. How do we do that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're following the traffic pattern. Now, what is the traffic pattern? The traffic pattern is the pattern that general aviation and world aviation of all types, military, you name it, take when coming into an approach to an airport. Now, why do we do this? It is to help us, of course, maintain general aviation traffic, but to also make sure that we're gradually losing our altitude and we're going to give ourselves the best shot at a decent landing as possible. So to do that, we're going to follow, if you look at the top left of my screen, you'll see that compass thing. That's the map that shows the direction of the traffic pattern. It's going to help us, again, gradually come down to altitude. We're going to make sure that our altitude and our speed are just going down gradually. Now, of course, in the descent, you might gain a lot of speed. Like you'll see here, I'm gaining, quite a bit of speed as we're going down, but that makes sense. But again, it's important that we maintain a decent speed while we're going down, to maintain a decent altitude, rather. Because if our altitude is too high and we try and go down to decrease our altitude, we're going to gain too much speed and we're not going to be able to land on the runway because we're going too fast. And the same applies in the opposite. If we're too low and too slow, we might stall out and die, But again, as I'm taking these turns, you'll notice that my speed is going up a little bit. But as I'm coming close to my final, which is just that last step until you touch down, it's important that we decrease our speed a lot, decrease our throttle a lot so that we don't go too fast. We're at a pretty good altitude. We're following the traffic pattern pretty decently. But yeah. So as we approach our final, again, we're going to make sure that we're not going too quick. We're going to make sure that we're keeping a decent altitude. But there's one more consideration that I would like to talk about. That, of course, being, which it'll come up in just a second, the set of 4 dots that you'll see. I highlighted it once we get about here. These four dots, these are the indicators that tell us whether or not we are in line with the center line of the runway. We're going to make sure that we're keeping a general kind of in line. You'll see them flash red when we're kind of off center. You'll see them flash back white when we're on center. It's not too horribly important if you're just a little off center. It's not the end of the world, but while as we're landing, we're going to make sure we're going to have a speed of around 60 to 70 knots. After that, we're going to drop our throttle down to zero to slow down as much as possible. We're also going to be pressing the brake so that we can make the turn onto the taxiway. And yeah, that is how you land and, of course, taxi Cessna 172. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something. I will see you later.
Following your head.